On a calm October afternoon in 1997, the sky above Monterey Bay seemed peaceful, almost ordinary. Yet, in those quiet moments, tragedy was unfolding. A small plane wobbled, faltered, and then plummeted into the water with terrifying speed. Seconds later, the waves closed over it, leaving the ocean deceptively serene. Inside that plane was a man whose voice had once filled millions of hearts with hope and joy, John Denver. The gentle soul who had painted America with melodies of mountains, open skies, and longing now met a sudden, shocking end. But to understand that final moment, you have to look at the life that led to it. A life of soaring highs, deep lows, and a relentless search for meaning. John Denver wasn't born with fame at his side. On December 31st, 1943, in Roswell, New Mexico, he entered the world as Henry John Deutschendorf Jr., as a child of a military family constantly on the move. Air Force postings scattered him across the country, uprooting friendships and leaving him with a sense of never truly belonging anywhere. Amid the strict routine of military life, music became his refuge. A guitar from his grandmother opened a private world, where chords and melodies offered solace during lonely teenage years. Those hours spent alone strumming songs quietly shaped the voice the world would later know. By the mid-1960s, Denver was chasing a dream. College life in Texas could not hold him. The pull of music was stronger than any classroom. He dropped out, guitar in hand, heading west to California, where folk stages were crowded with hopefuls. There, the name John Denver was born, inspired by the Rocky Mountains, a place that had left an indelible mark on him. Now, life was far from glamorous. Nights of small performances, long bus rides, and endless practice taught him the craft of connecting with strangers through song. When Leaving on a Jet Plane was recorded by Peter, Paul, and Mary, he was still a young man outside the spotlight. Yet, when it unexpectedly hit number 1 in 1969, it marked the beginning of a journey that would change music history. Denver's rise was meteoric, but not without struggle. Albums like Rhymes and Reasons and Take Me to Tomorrow went largely unnoticed. Critics doubted him, questioning whether gentle acoustic folk could survive in a world dominated by electric guitars and psychedelic sounds. Then, in 1971, everything shifted. Take Me Home, Country Roads struck a chord across America, evoking nostalgia for a home some listeners had never known. Suddenly, John Denver was everywhere. Radio waves, concert halls, living rooms. Hits followed, Rocky Mountain High, Annie's Song, Back Home Again, each a blend of simplicity, sincerity, and an unshakable connection to nature. Yet fame brought its own challenges. While audiences adored his music, Denver wrestled with fractured relationships and private battles far from the public eye. Marriages ended, family life shifted, and despite his gentle public persona, moments of frustration and human imperfection occasionally surfaced. Music remained his anchor, but the pressures of success, travel, and personal loss were constants. Even as the 1980s brought changing musical tastes, Denver adapted, exploring international tours and humanitarian work, his voice reaching far beyond American borders. And then there was the sky, his enduring escape. Flying offered freedom, a place where the world's noise fell away. That love for flight, combined with an experimental aircraft, led to the fatal October day. Investigations suggested a simple mistake in handling the plane's unique controls. No substances, just human error and a tragic miscalculation. News of his death rippled across the nation, stopping hearts and radios alike. Yet even in death, Denver's music lived on, echoing through mountains, homes, and hearts. Take Me Home, Country Roads still calls listeners to something beyond themselves, a reminder of beauty, longing, and the roads that lead us home. John Denver's life was a symphony of contrasts, soaring melodies and private struggles, public adoration and personal turmoil, ultimate freedom and sudden loss. His songs endure not because of charts or critics, but because they capture something timeless: the human desire to find our place, to connect, and to remember the feeling of being home.